What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN USD. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it, okay? It is the 21st day of January, and here we are sitting at about $0.00745 with roughly 8 hours left in the day. We're up, man. We're up about 15%, and it feels good. It's kind of funny, the perspective, right? 2 days ago, this price was sad. We were upset about it, and now today it's great. Like now there's new hope. It's great. No, OnyxCoin is doing more or less something that was very, very expected, right? A very, very highly anticipated move, which is pulling back to your golden ratio, right? We pulled right down to the golden ratio. You look at the 1 hour time frame, and I think there's like barely, just barely, you missed it. Barely. Oh, so barely. But I would call that golden ratio support. Is that enough? Could we come down? Maybe. We could come down, go back into the golden ratio, get a slightly lower low, something like that. Could we get a double bottom and actually touch it? Something like that? Maybe. But I don't see any reason why we'd have to return down here. I mean, this, to me, is a fantastic reaction. There's clearly interest in buying this thing, and we know that because of the respect of the golden ratio, right? Everybody, whether you have algorithms trading for you, whether you're a traditional investor, whatever it might be, everybody pays attention to the golden ratio zones typically. And I say everybody, most people do. I feel like a lot of people, even if it's not most, even if it was just 10%, that's still a lot of people who are participating in this market, who are focused on this area. There's clearly buying interest here. That's all I'm trying to say. And it goes just beyond, it goes a little bit beyond that golden ratio too. There's prior areas of resistance here as well. And is there prior support? No, there's not, but I mean, maybe further back. I don't know. No, it doesn't look like it. Anyways, golden ratio support, prior points of resistance to buy, clearly buying interest. There's not a whole lot of selling interest at all. I mean, we look at this on the 1 hour time frame, and you can see there's some spikes in volume here, but really there's no interest at all. It just dies off. The volume only comes back when we start to move up, right? And then same thing here on this sell-off, like a little bit at first, but it's just gone. There's no interest. On that note, on this come up here, the secondary attempt that we're looking like we want to move up, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of interest here either. So maybe we have to go down a little bit further, make some people panic sell, entice more people to buy. There's also this this gap right here on the 1 hour time frame. I feel like on Coinbase, these 1 hour, it typically happens on the 1 hour time frame. Don't worry about gaps on like the 15-minute time frame. I don't think those gaps are significant. 1 hour gaps are not even significant, but this is more of a superstition than it is technical analysis. For some reason, with a lot of coins on Coinbase, if you look at the 1 hour time frame and you see gaps to the downside, I don't care how high this thing pumps. It could have pumped all the way up here. You're probably going to come back down and fill that gap. Typically, that's what happens. It's the same thing in the stock world. You know, gaps filling. It's not just about the CME gaps. I know whenever we talk about gaps, it's oftentimes in reference to CME, but the psychology here is, or like the thought, the theory, at least how it was explained to me is, you know, you've got a bunch of participants here who are looking to buy OnyxCoin. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Clearly, there's a surge here, so this is not the whole market agreeing that they want to buy OnyxCoin. This is probably a select few people, or like a group, or maybe even one person with some fat bags, whatever, buying all at once, right? And those select few people are not the ones that determine what the price is for the rest of the market. So whenever you move up fast, whenever you get gaps, gaps are a signal of very high velocity price action. Whenever you have the market agreeing, right, this is not high velocity, this is a bunch of handshaking right here. Everybody's agreeing on the price right here, and then the price just shifts up here. You have some disagreement, right? Some people might think, okay, this is the price, but some people are still hung up on this, so you come back down and you fill the gap, so to speak, right? That's kind of the thought behind it. I don't know if I explained it well, but I hope you guys took something away from that. That's how I think of it, at least. You know, it's like where are people agreeing that the price is that makes sense? We have to go back here, I think, and we don't have to do anything, but the idea would say we have to go back here so that we can check back. Are we sure that we're not worth this price? Are we sure that we're not worth less? And oh, yes, we are sure. Okay, well then we will move up. That's the whole thought, right? Rather than just blind fury to the upside. Or if it is blind fury, again, it'll come back down. But I digress. Anyways, the 1 hour time frame here, looking at the indicators, a little bit of a lower high in the RSI, rejecting the overbought zone. Stochastics rejecting lower high here in the MACD. I think all of these indicators look good, but they look right now, like what I was just saying, we probably do come down a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we fill that gap. So being here at 0074 is nice. We're happy. We're celebrating. Don't celebrate for too long. We're probably going to drop, let's see, about, it's not going to be too significant. Probably going to drop about 5 to maybe 10%. Probably not that much. There's no gaps down there that haven't been filled. Maybe that much. Let's just see. What would this relative fib be? This is why I love the fibs, because they're reliable on the 15-minute time frame, the 1 year time frame, whatever you can scale. Man, this, I don't know if you guys have noticed, and I haven't really pointed it out too much, but this past week or two, the 069, these little double top plays have really been coming in. I haven't seen the 069 in action, but there's been a few different cryptos, and not on the 1 hour time frame, unlike the daily time frames where they're respecting that for support or resistance. And typically in this, what I've seen is we do go to the golden ratio. We go right there and you find support, or you go right there and you find resistance. Like this is typically exactly what happens. So I have zero doubt the gap is right there at the golden ratio. It's at 00698. The golden ratio is at 00697. I highly doubt that we do anything but go down to this golden ratio zone just below 007. We probably do not go below this low here. We'll find support and then we'll move up. Unless volume picks up. If we're selling off and volume picks up, that might be scary. But if I have it my way and it goes the way that I expect it to, there should be less selling volume, not more. It can be bigger than this, but it just can't be bigger. We don't want it to be bigger than that. Okay? But it probably isn't going to be bigger than this. Anyways, 1 hour time frame looking good, honestly. You just have to find support around this area, around your golden ratio zone. We don't want to see a lower low, okay? We don't want this to be false price action. 4 hour time frame here. I don't think it is, but you got to prove yourself still. 4 hour time frame, the RSI looks interesting here. I mean, overall, it's kind of sad, right? But if you look at it, high here, connecting the dots, it's not perfect, but you can kind of see what I'm going for. You're in a bit of a downtrend, and you've broken out. So that's a good thing. You do have higher highs now instead of lower highs. And you're above the 50. You haven't been above the 50 in quite some time. It's giving you resistance. Now you're finding support. That's a nice look. The only thing is you found support and you're not really doing anything with it. Is it a new 4 hour time frame? It's a brand new 4 hour time frame, so it's too early to tell. Based off the 1 hour, I'm not excited. But this looks promising for maybe not the coming days, but the days coming after the coming days. Does that make sense? This has promise to it. Maybe Sunday or later we can start to move. Stochastics getting tied up here. They don't typically get tied up here. Yes, they do, actually. Wow, right there. Right there. Resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance, resistance right there. So yes, they do actually. I bet we find resistance here and we come down a little bit more. Maybe to the 50 to find support and then we move up, something like that. The stochastics typically don't interact with these levels the same way like the RSI does. It's not like constructive behavior all the way up here. I don't know why it's not letting me draw. Hold on. It's not like stair stepping, you know, stuff like that, like the RSI does, or stair stepping down. It's more ranging, right? And then doing this, ranging down, doing that. But if we come down and we find support at the 50, or if we come all the way down to the oversold zone and find support, whatever it might be, I just don't think, if we got oversold, I would assume that would come in line with taking out this low. So, or we'd have to move sideways in a very tight range for a while. I don't know. I'm not confident on the stochastics. That's all I'm trying to say. Getting lost in everything else. MACD looking a little bit bearish here, but good overall. Yeah, you probably come up. I would guess after we drop back down and fill that gap, you'll probably come up to, let's see, high to low. You'll probably come up to about 1 cent. Somewhere up there, the golden ratio. Watch, wouldn't it be hilarious if we go right down to the 069, this same area that we just found resistance on a smaller fib scale? Wouldn't it be fun if we went right down there? It's pretty close to where that gap is. It's just a little bit lower. And then we bounce and go all the way up to the golden ratio. That's the expectation, kind of. I don't know if we go this low. That is a little bit lower than I was anticipating, going below. Or I guess, no, it's not. I'm sorry. We're expecting to go below 007. We're not expecting to go below 006. So this actually does, it's 0.00698 that the gap is at, or 689, one of those two, something like that. So that's actually just below the gap. It's right there. So this would actually make a lot of sense. This would make a whole lot of sense. Or maybe something more robust. We'll see. Overall, I don't mind the 4-hour time frame, but you've still got work to do. It'll probably take about 3 or 4, maybe 5 days before we're in any kind of like bullish territory. And that's if we're on our best behavior. If we're not, it could take longer than that. You know what I mean? It's probably, so don't get excited for continuation. Don't get excited that we're going to be doing stuff like this until the earliest next week, probably after next week, or maybe later next week. We'll see. It really could be next month that we start to move and progress higher above this high. We'll see. I just don't think that when we go lower, I don't think that we'll go lower than this low. Daily time frame, looking at the RSI, we've got higher lows built out from November, which is awesome, right? Higher lows. We're doing it again here. Finding support at the 40, which is an area that we found resistance at once before here, again here, support at right there. The 40 level, and I mean more significance back here. The 40 level is a significant support zone or resistance point for any RSI on any time frame. And here I think that we're finding significance. We're having a good bounce. Let's see if it persists. Let's see if this takes us into the overbought zone. If it does, I don't assume that we're just going to move up in one day. You know, here, I mean, we basically did. But I don't assume that that's what's going to happen. I would assume it takes a little bit of time. And we'll probably get into the overbought zone at some point in February. So February, again, is lining up to be a really, really, really good month. It could be by the end of this month. We could see some excitement. We'll see. But I think February is going to be, especially the beginning half of February, I think it's going to be a really good month. We'll see. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. The expectation overall is that OnyxCoin will see new highs relative to where it was in January of 2025. From a high to a low here, we are right now on a journey, all of us together, whoever's holding OnyxCoin, right? We are all on a journey together to go all the way up to at least 10 cents in price. And that is a 13x move from here. Yes, 13x move from here. We probably do go a little bit lower. Imagine we go down to fill that gap. We go down to 0067 where that pink line is from this low to high, or maybe it's this high to low. I can't remember. That 13x turns into a 14x. If you time the low properly. I don't know. Doesn't seem that worth it to me. I would literally just not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I think we're at perfect areas to DCA. It's got the green light for me, but again, I do expect that we pull back a little bit from here. Probably do go below 0.007. But that's the minimum target. We could see the golden ratio, and that's a 30x move, and that's pretty friggin' nuts, man. But we've, you know, from a low here to a high here, we had a 48x move last time. And 20x of that came in a 2-week period. It was literally just these 2 weeks here that we had a 20x. It was 1900%. That's a 20x. Anyways, something between 10 cents and 22 cents is what we're expecting. This will probably develop and come to fruition, I'm hoping, by the end of Q1. And if not by the end of Q1, maybe sometime in Q2, but we'll see. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.